Hello, everybody, and welcome to HG Movie Talk, where I am joined here today with my co-host, Dean's Beans.
And I am joined here by my co-host, Fluffy Duffy. Hello.
Hello.
Does anyone in real life call you Fluffy Duffy now?
Nobody does.
I think I got called Dean's Beans before that was my name on TikTok.
Well, I mean, to be fair, your name is Dean.
Yeah, that's true. But
So
your name is Duffy.
No. Not
You would...
quite.
Yeah, I was close enough.
Yeah, you were halfway there. But anyway, today is episode 3 of News and Reviews. Where guess what? Guess what we talk about?
News?
We talk about news.
Anything
And
else?
guess what? Guess what else?
And
Reviews. I know it's a little groundbreaking. We had to kind of put our minds together for this series, but I think we did pretty all right.
Good job, us, I suppose.
Indubitably.
I like that word. Anyway.
You like that word?
Yeah.
It has a lot of syllables. It's a lot for me, but I think I did it pretty well.
I can't say it.
Indubitably. It's 5.
Indubitably.
Once I get past 3, it's like my parents are impressed. Anyway. All right, let's get this party started. First one up.
First piece of news.
Black Adam.
Yes.
We got our first official look here, kind of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and it wrapped production.
It's interesting.
It's interesting because isn't Shazam 2 also being shot at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a little bit behind because I'm pretty sure, or maybe it has wrapped. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about Shazam 2.
No, it's what they were filming at very similar times.
Yes, which is because because originally the first Shazam was supposed to be Black Adam and him.
Yeah.
Right. But they're like, no, let's use this bland white guy. And then I don't know what they're doing for Shazam 2, but they're also making a Black Adam movie.
Yeah.
Which should be interesting, I guess.
My takeaway from this photo is, this may sound a bit obvious, but the lack of hair on Dwayne Johnson. Because Black Adam does have hair, and I was interested to see, because Black Adam has such little hair, they could have done it for Dwayne Johnson. I don't think he's opposed to having some hair sometimes.
Well, does he have it in I feel like at least in maybe, well, hold on. Oh yeah, I guess he does have hair in the first, in every iteration of the Justice League, I guess, or Injustice or anything like that.
Yeah. But it's yeah, and it kind of looks like a Superman Man of Steel suit by how it's textured.
Yeah, it should be interesting because it's really nothing we've seen before.
Yeah. But then the real question is, who is this guy with the spade on the side?
That's what I'm asking too. That's the Flash. This is actually the Black Adam doesn't exist. This is just for the Flash movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised he isn't in it, to be
fair. It seems out of place for them to out of nowhere have a Black Adam movie that's set in ancient Egypt.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I think it's set partially in the ancient Egypt, it's partially in the 20s, the 1920s.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because Dr. Fate and the Atom Smasher and it's the Justice Society actually he's up against.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about this movie besides.
I know little, but I still trump you, I suppose.
Whatever. Nice job bringing up Trump. Okay, next one. The introduction to Deadpool into the MCU.
Yeah.
Is an ad from Ryan Reynolds' commercial company.
For Free Guy. With Korg.
It seemed a little peculiar to me. No,
I get that.
When I saw this, because I have Ryan Reynolds YouTube notifications turned on.
Yeah.
So when I saw it pop up on my phone, I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
But I feel like it may seem a bit like a weird move, but I can't think of anything that's going to promote the movie Free Guy more than just jumping in on that MCU cash.
It's such a weird move, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But just a weird move.
This is like Super Pets all over again. You look perplexed.
I am perplexed. I feel this is way more perplexing than DC League of Super Pets.
I don't think I would go that far personally.
You don't think? Well, if you would have told me, Harlan, Fluffy Duffy, if you will,
Is
how
this
will
what I'm
Deadpool?
saying?
Yes, I'm not gonna do. I won't do a British accent.
You're considering it.
No, I was gonna try to do a different accent, but now it's not the time. Anyways, I would never have guessed. Oh, it's gonna be from Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort commercial company.
Yeah.
And it'll be Korg.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where we're at now, I
But
guess.
that's the genius of it, isn't it?
I guess it is. Expect the unexpected from Deadpool.
Which I guess just means expect the expected.
Worst. Anyways. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one. Black Widow.
Yes.
In general. Dude, our last news and reviews, we saw Black Widow.
Yeah, we talked about it and we were like, hey, that was the movie. I watched it.
It was a movie. It is the lowest grossing Marvel movie or MCU movie of all time.
Yeah. And that makes sense why. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone.
It was a surprise to Scarlett Johansson.
Well, yeah. So she's trying to sue Disney because part of her profit was coming from the box office of the movie, and her contract apparently stipulated a theatrical only release.
Right. And then when she filed the lawsuit, Disney fired back at her, basically
Disney were basically like, how dare you accuse us of doing something bad during a pandemic?
Which is fair, but it gets in this weird point of like, you can say they're doing it for the pandemic, but Disney's also just trying to get people to sign on to their service.
Yeah, and also like their parks are open and everything. It's not like they're
right.
Like, let's not get too political here.
No, we won't get too political, but it's definitely they're using it as an excuse.
Yeah. The issue here is I think most people are in agreement that Scarlett Johansson morally is in the right.
Yes.
But people will take that understanding as just automatically assuming that she's legally in the right. And although she technically is entitled to this money, number one, we haven't seen the contract, but a lot of contracts will have, oh yeah, the stipulations of this contract don't need to be fulfilled during like a time of great catastrophe, I think it is. And a pandemic is clearly that.
That's true.
So obviously she should, but it is Disney she's going up against. I'm sure Disney would have thought this through.
And then once Disney fired back, they respond. Scarlett Johansson, her agency, like responded, and they just basically like flicked the middle finger right back at them.
It's definitely an interesting case. I think if anyone has the ability to be able to win a lawsuit against Disney, it's going to be someone with the kind of money that she has.
Right, and like, do you know who Jay Stoops is?
Yeah.
Wonderful TikTok creator. But she made a point that I don't necessarily agree with. And this could just be some potentially internalized misogyny, and if it is, I apologize. However, she made a point saying she brought up this whole Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, and then she brought up how John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are also suing Paramount for pulling out Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
Prematurely. And I think the reason why nobody talked about the John Krasinski case, well, what she said it why nobody talks about it is because it's a dude, and the media doesn't care as much.
Yeah.
which I get that point, but what I think really it is, it's Scarlett Johansson going up against Disney, Marvel. I feel like it's just a bigger
Yeah.
story
I mean,
than
that
just
definitely might be part of it, but I
it.
think the main
Yes,
reason would be because it's Disney and it's Marvel, and this is also the one that started it all.
right. Well,
So,
I think this happened. The Quiet Place thing happened
oh, did it?
before.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
that's interesting. I thought the other thing I was going to say about this is I think the larger picture here is, even if you're one of those people who are like, oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson shouldn't be getting paid that much money anyway, which is true, but if Disney are happy to screw people over like Scarlett Johansson, you've got to think how many just like lighting people and people who are at like the
right,
bottom of the ladder that they are willing to screw over.
exactly.
And that's, I think, the larger point here.
So it should really be interesting to see because like HBO Max, although I don't necessarily agree with it, like it's freaking convenient
Yeah,
being able to
because
like
when they announced it on HBO Max, a lot of the directors weren't told
exactly they,
beforehand. Like they only found out at the same time as everyone else, like James Gunn with the Suicide Squad.
which is and like I saw so I went to see Suicide Squad the opening night for the US. But then like I wasn't able to see it with my family and I didn't want to go back the next night and spend $50 to see a movie I just saw. So using HBO Max like way more convenient, but it pulls the rug over everybody else. So
Well, yeah, that's the issue. I feel like everyone's just gonna think that, and then that's how it's gonna go. So it's
exactly.
interesting.
All right, let's see. What's the next story? Have we discussed
I feel like
everything?
we have for now. Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, this is fun. The Doctor Strange hot toy. This isn't. This is just cool,
It does look really cool.
and it kind of shows us what we could have seen because there was like, did you ever see the behind the scenes photos of Doctor Strange in the Iron Man costume?
Yeah.
And that was cool. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh my god, we gotta talk about this because it's just sick.
It's the art character that looks really cool, I reckon.
Yeah, with the time stone in it
The
and how
Eye
it like
Agamotto. That is sick.
that is sick.
It kind of looks like
That's
something they could do in What If.
they probably won't.
I don't think they will, but
Oh, speaking of, we don't have
maybe
anything.
see what they do.
I didn't put anything about what if in here. Oh, I should
Mm.
have. Well, I'll talk about that when we're here, I guess. Um, a lot of the what if storylines, I'm kind of like, well, they could have done something cooler.
Yeah, they feel like there's some of them I'm like, that is so cool, but there are some odd choices, I think.
Like one choice thing is like, oh, I guess is the Iron Man one, the one they're doing for Iron Man, where like Killmonger comes in.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because like they could have like, what if like Iron Man? I don't know. It's so hard for a what if thing because there's like so many what if
Yeah,
questions.
exactly. I mean, in the next episode of News and Reviews, we would have watched some of the episodes anyway, and
Oh
we'll
wait,
be
really? Wait,
because
when
it's
does it come out?
like the 11th, I think, something like that.
Does it really?
So we wouldn't have watched all of it in 3 weeks time, but we would have started it.
Oh, sick. And that brings me to my next question. I think I saw your video about it.
About the
About
actors that aren't in it.
yes, it's so interesting. Because when this was like announced, it was like all the actors are going to be
Yeah.
reprising their roles.
And the interesting part of that to me is, so we know what actors aren't in it, but the only actor who's actually said anything about it is Dave Bautista. And what he
Right.
said, he said I wasn't even asked to be in it, which I thought was interesting because then it's not a scheduling conflict and it's not anything like that, because he
Well,
was just never asked.
Disney's probably a little irritated with Dave Bautista.
Yeah, maybe
He's talked some smack.
he has, but it seems like they're happy with James Gunn now.
It better be. Well, actually, I don't know because the Suicide Squad did not do good this weekend.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Okay, next one. Loki season 2
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe when we were last news and reviews, Loki hadn't ended.
Yeah, I think it was the day before the finale that it came out.
Yes. Um, loved it. I personally thought it was the best finale.
I'm a bit mixed on it.
You're a bit mixed on it. I think it's honestly, this finale is kind of what I wanted from a Marvel TV show, and here's why. Because I was kind of disappointed from the first two because it just ended like a Marvel movie would.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one was just like, if it was like mostly just like talking and
Yeah,
telling a
no,
story.
my kind of issues with it weren't like where they finished. Well, it kind of is. I feel like there was too much talking that wasn't about what the show was about.
Mm. I That's true. I think it definitely was a little bit less of an ending and more of a
Hey,
catalyst for the next season.
look what we're gonna do in Spider-Man.
But that's what I was expecting. I
Yeah,
was expecting setup for more. I wasn't necessarily expecting an ending. So I think that's kind of where we split with that. And Kate Herron, the director of the first season, is not to return for season 2, which is interesting.
it is. Yeah,
Because usually what the track record for Marvel is they'll keep you directing this movies or shows if you're good, like if it's well received.
yeah. But yeah, it's interesting the way she did it. She's like, oh yeah, I just don't want to do it, which I think is also interesting. Considering, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like this is definitely the biggest move for Kate Herron.
Yeah,
Well, at least she is now widely known in the Marvel community, which is a relatively big community.
yeah. No, it's an interesting one. You're right. I'm not sure what the. Well, I mean, we don't know the reasoning behind it, but
I
it's
guess creatives are creatives and they want to move on to new projects, but
yeah. I don't. Is
whatever.
she one of those people, or was she fired? Who knows?
I'm not sure. I'm not. I just put fired because it looked a little bit more dramatic, but I think it was kind of like a mutual thing, if
Yeah,
I'm correct.
like Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Haha. I mean, it could have been so much better.
it would have been so much
Anyways,
better. I mean, I like Ant-Man anyway. Okay, this one.
so we got a full array of flash photos.
Yeah.
Um,
Where should we start? Should we start with Batman?
yeah, let's start with Batman.
It's a cool bike.
It is a cool bike. And this is Batfleck, right?
Yeah.
Looking at some of the picture, doesn't necessarily look like Ben Affleck's face.
But it might be like a stunt double.
Yeah.
But you've got to consider he's wearing goggles, so that makes him automatically Batfleck because they love to put goggles on that guy.
Oh yes, they do. I think it should be interesting. Again, we don't know what's happening in this movie. We can kind of guess from the pictures below what's going to be happening.
Yeah, so there's Barry meeting Barry.
Right, and we know it's Barry meeting Barry because of the picture on the left shows
Barry in that outfit, and that guy
yeah,
does basically look like Ezra Miller.
yeah, but just with a little pole behind him.
Yeah. So I read somewhere a supposed leak is that the villain of this movie is going to be like a darker, alternate timeline version of Ezra Miller.
It should be funny.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I don't really like Ezra Miller that much, so maybe that's why I don't like the idea of it.
Well, I don't mind Ezra Miller, but him playing a villain seems a little.
Yeah, like it would have been cooler. Like, how much better would it getting like a someone like Anthony Starr to
Oh
play
my
Reverse
god,
Flash?
dude, he would do so good as Reverse Flash.
In my DCU slate, I've always said Paul Bettany, but I'm considering changing it.
Yeah,
We'll see.
sorry,
Paul Bettany
I.
would be good as well, though.
But Anthony Starr is scarier than Paul Bettany.
He's the best part of Solo. I just have to say that.
You're not wrong, but The
No,
Boys
no,
is better than
I get why you're saying that. Yeah, yeah.
The Boys is better than Solo.
That I feel like is not a controversial statement at all.
So it
Yeah. I also
means
now notice that they're filming this in the UK.
how can you tell?
The road signs underneath the Batmobile, the Bat bike,
Oh,
and also like that's a
interesting.
very English building.
It is. Why is Batman in Britain?
It's a good question. They filmed the Batman about half an hour away from where I live.
Right, but I mean that's gonna be Gotham though. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
should be interesting.
What they've said about the Batman, which I find quite interesting, is this is going to be the first Batman movie where
He has
Gotham
eyeliner.
looks like its own city.
Really?
Yeah, because like what city? I don't know. Your what city is it in the Dark Knight trilogy? But it just
Chicago.
looks. It just is it.
Yep.
So it just looks like Chicago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But they're just making an actual like city that looks different. Anyway,
That's cool.
moving on.
What's next? The Marvel animate. So it was announced that Marvel Studios is making their own animation branch, which I think is interesting because it would have assumed that they would announce that after the potential success of the What If.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've already said there's going to be a series 2 though, or at least heavily hinted at it.
Right, and What If better be good if there's like, you know what, we're gonna make a whole another branch of our department for this.
What would you want? Like, what's another Marvel animated show you'd want?
A Marvel animated show? I don't know.
Do you know what I think would be cool? I hadn't
What?
really. You do like in between calls of just like an episode of the Avengers hanging out on Avengers Tower.
That would be cool, but I could also see it being kind of boring. I think like the early days of like Spider-Man, like stopping buses and stuff, could be
Well, yeah,
interesting.
stuff like that, just like in between calls, or like stuff we haven't seen. Like Isaiah Bradley.
Yes. Oh, that would be really cool.
What happens in the 5 years between Infinity War and Endgame?
Just chaos.
It's just an episode of just people running around just screaming.
So yeah, we don't that's literally all we know is that they're making a branch for animation. But I thought that was cool enough to put it in, talk about today.
That's pretty cool.
What's next? Have you seen In the Heights?
Yes.
I've seen like half of it. I know what In the Heights is. I was in the musical, but
I thought it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it.
The parts that I saw was fine. It was like it's what I expected.
I think it definitely gets better. The first act's pretty like, but
it's
yeah,
interesting.
She's good though. I think it's pretty good casting, not knowing much about her.
And I don't know much about Batgirl either.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's less about the good casting. I'm just happy to see people that aren't Batman from Gotham.
Yes, and it's interesting because this Batgirl thing has been in development hell for like the last 10 years probably. Because Joss Whedon was supposed to make like a TV show for HBO Max.
Yeah, and now no one likes him.
Nobody likes Joss Whedon.
So imagine getting Joss Whedon. Imagine if they announced that now. They were like, Joss Whedon is making Batgirl.
Nobody would watch it because everybody would just assume he would sexually harass everybody on set.
Pretty much.
This should be interesting. Again, like not an unknown actress, but like it's not like she has a particularly intense.
This will probably be her biggest role.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It'll be cool. I'll watch it. Is it a movie or TV show? I think it's.
I don't know.
This is Batgirl. She's Batgirl.
She's a character.
Yes, she is she's an actress. She's going to play a role.
Moving on.
Moving on. The Injustice movie.
Yeah. I'm don't watch
so excited
any animated DC stuff really, but I'm gonna watch this.
Because have you like watched like the cutscenes from like the Injustice
I've
TV
played one
game.
of the games. I don't know which, and it was a while ago.
There was they made a comic
Yeah.
from it. And I'm pretty sure this is based on the comic. And the comic's
I
really
think the question
interesting.
is it because like the game starts with Superman killing Joker, and then there's like a 5-year time jump or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
And the question people are asking is, does this game take part in the 5-year time jump about how like the Injustice world began, or is it the actual thing?
I'm pretty sure if it's, I hope it's just the Injustice thing. That's what I want from it.
I think the 5 years thing would be very interesting because a lot of interesting stuff happens in that time.
I personally kind of wish this was a series so we can get like more of it.
Well, you say that. In my dream DCEU slate, I replaced What If with Injustice.
That would have been really cool. Because this is kind of like a what if storyline. Yeah. Really. But yeah, I know I'm gonna watch this. The animation style looks really cool.
I mean, I'm a bit fed up of evil Superman stuff, but I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, what other evil Superman stuff?
No, I just mean as a trope, like Homelander.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. But everybody likes that now. Everybody likes dark and gritty.
That's true. I mean, Homelander works. That he's obviously the best example of it. Okay.
All right. Let's see. What's next? Ant-Man 3 in production.
Correct.
King the Conqueror. He's going to be there.
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania. That's a fun name.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty dumb.
Yes. But I'm interested to see what they do with this because they're definitely it's going to be like a timeline thing. And this is coming out after like everything really.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see more of the Wasp. She's a cool character.
She's a cool character. I don't know. I hope it's better than the first two.
I do really like the first one.
Well, I like the first one too. But I don't know. In the whole grand scheme of Marvel movies, it appears like rather bland to me. But Ant-Man 2, I'm not a big fan of.
It's just a lukewarm movie.
Yeah. And I hope I think they went for the same formula as Ant-Man, and it just kind of just wasn't as it wasn't as creative and groundbreaking like the first one was.
As funny.
Yeah, so I hope they go in a new route for this one.
Yeah. Okay, next.
The Peacemaker TV show, not Peacekeeper. In my Suicide Squad review, I said Peacekeeper instead of Peacemaker. But I'm looking forward to this show.
So am I. Is that what it's called, or is that just?
I think it's the Peacemaker TV show.
Is that what it's called? Every stuff ever said it says Peacemaker TV show.
Yeah. I love.
And he walks onto stage and he's like, "Hello and welcome to the Peacemaker show. I'm your host, Peacemaker, and today we've got loads of guests lined up for you."
And he just puts them on a line and shoots them down. Really good. I love John Cena. The only thing I've actually liked John Cena in is this recent movie.
Yeah, he's very good in it.
It should be interesting. There's not too much to say without giving away my thoughts.
I think we will.
So that'll be interesting.
Some more controversy. And it is pretty dumb.
It's really dumb.
I don't know why they've done it. It's Miss Marvel, rumored to have light construct powers like Green Lantern, when her powers are nothing like that in the comics, and she's like Reed Richards growy, but like she uses it for combat instead of brains.
I don't understand.
I don't know why.
I am really nervous for Miss Marvel now.
Yeah, because I really love the character Miss Marvel.
I don't know much about her.
I don't know much, but I bought her first comic book this week.
Oh
It
yeah.
hasn't arrived yet, but
This from what it seems like and what it seems like they're doing kind of looks like it's going to be kind of a like not good show.
took you a while to get there. But yeah, it's interesting because they're definitely going to have to change her origin because
Right.
in the comics she's an Inhuman, and they can't really do that for the show. They're going to have to come up with a different origin. But that doesn't mean you have to change her powers. And I don't, because like you never, that's never been done before. Imagine if they were like, oh yeah, we're introducing Wolverine to the MCU and he's gonna shoot lasers.
So weird.
Because why they've never like changed anyone's powers dramatically like that.
And it's Marvel. Like this is Marvel Studios. If anything, Marvel has like come to be the studio that like is most true to the comics.
Yeah, because they even like personality changes and things like that. They've never once gone, oh, let's just change what their powers are.
So weird.
I can't think of it like a symbol. There'll be stuff like, oh, Black Widow has the super soldier serum in the comics. She does, but that's just they take stuff away from characters, but they don't just completely change it and
Yeah.
go, oh, this character, oh, we don't like the growing powers. Instead, we're going to give her something complete. They're not even related powers.
No, and from what it seems like, this is from what I heard on TikTok, it's kind of going to be like a Disney Channel show.
Yeah, they kind of going for like a teen show. And I feel like a teen superhero show could really work, but I guess it'll be difficult to pull off, I think.
Yeah, and it frustrates me because I want to love this character.
Yeah,
I want to love Captain Marvel.
I really want to. I think Miss Marvel is a very strong character and a very good one for them to introduce.
And Marvel even with the past couple of years has been like, pushing this character,
Yeah,
even though nobody really knows much about her. Because they had like a Marvel animated girl show. They had like a bunch of like the Marvel characters
yeah.
team up.
But the other thing is they're really pushing this character because Miss Marvel hasn't been around very long.
No, she hasn't. And
So I was thinking about it. I think out of all the superheroes that have like come out during mine and yours lifetime, she is definitely one of the most famous ones.
yes, and
Like
like
her, Miles Morales, and a couple others.
when when I went to that Marvel exhibit in Chicago,
Yeah,
they had statues of characters. They had Black Panther, they had Spider-Man, and then they had Miss Marvel.
she was introduced in 2014, so she is 7 years old, and Miles Morales is 2011.
So this will be interesting. I hope this isn't another like Captain Marvel situation where you feel like an asshole for not liking something.
I feel like I like Miss Marvel more than most people, but I understand why people don't.
It's mediocre.
I can agree with that. I think.
Um, I don't hate it. I'm not like some people that are like, you
Oh,
know,
they're just pushing an agenda by making
right?
Captain Marvel.
Jeez.
They've
I
made.
will say that it was a little bit on the nose,
I don't think it.
but not the entire movie. Not the entire movie.
I feel like the bits that are on the nose worked quite well. The one I think of specifically is when like someone tells her to smile more.
No, I'm not. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking
Oh, okay.
about the fight bit
Oh, okay,
where
I get that.
the
I like.
music that
Do you
came
know?
on.
I don't know if you ever saw this, but people kept tweeting at Brie Larson to smile more on like the Captain Marvel posters and things. So then she posted a bunch of photoshopped Marvel posters of all the characters smiling, and it was like the Captain America poster, but Captain America, instead of putting a serious face, was smiling loads.
Jesus.
So I was like, that's funny. But what you need to remember is Brie Larson is secretly trying to ruin Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh, obviously. She's taking it down from the inside out.
Yeah, yeah. On that happy note, moving on.
So this was just announced like today. Not announced.
At time of recording.
Yes, as of August 7th. A DC producer was talking about like upcoming projects, and he mentioned a Justice League 2.
Which is
Yeah. We don't know anything about it. But like within like the next like 10 years, we will be getting a Justice League 2.
Would you want a Snyder Justice League 2 or a non-Snyder Justice League 2?
Non-Snyder Justice League.
I agree.
If anything, the Suicide Squad proves that Zack Snyder is not fit for superhero movies.
I agree. I feel like you could even just do a Justice League movie without any like movies beforehand. I don't feel like you need to introduce the characters before a Justice League movie, because stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad don't need 100 movies to set it out.
The only thing is, for the Suicide Squad, no, you don't need it. Guardians of the Galaxy, you don't need it because nobody knows those characters. But like for Justice League, a lot of these characters are extremely complex, and they love these characters.
That's true.
So if you want to make a Justice League movie that everybody's gonna want to see, like a big box office numbers movie, you gotta set up at least more than 2 of these characters.
That's fair enough. My question is, so who would return? Because I'm sure like you wouldn't have to introduce characters like Gal Gadot or Jason Momoa. I feel like they're two that are the most certain to return.
Well, the Flash will probably show up.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if Ben Affleck will. I doubt Ray Fisher will.
And Henry Cavill definitely will.
And I don't think Henry Cavill will. I mean, he might, but.
Well, I think they're definitely trying to like give the DCEU a soft reboot.
Yeah.
And with them making a new Superman, Flash is dealing with the multiverse kind of. It should be interesting, but who knows? Should be interesting to say the least, though.
Jumping forward.
Avatar. We got Netflix is making a new Avatar show.
Yeah.
Which has me nervous because I like Avatar. I
haven't seen it, but I understand people's wariness because it is so beloved.
Avatar is good. A lot of people are diehard about it, but I think it's just a pretty good TV show. Well, keep in mind, I don't watch anime. I have trouble getting into animated TV shows. Avatar was something I struggled with, but I just went through it. Yeah, it was good, but I just have trouble retaining interest. I'm glad they're casting actors of the correct race.
Yeah, this bare minimum right there.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll say the names correctly.
Well, I don't know much about Avatar, but I will. I think I'll watch this.
You think? Well, if you do, you guys have Netflix? Do you have No, do you guys have Avatar on Netflix?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
If you have to watch that show.
Yeah,
before you watch
get that. It'll be years until it comes out anyway, so I'll see what.
This is true. They were just cast, so yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Moving on.
So this is just kind of like just other movie news that I wanted to talk about.
We're just doing, trailer time. We need like a jingle.
It's trailer time. Doodle-doo.
Hey, what's that coming anyway?
It's trailer time.
Mamma mia! It's
time. Mama Pizza Pie. It's trailer time.
Speaking of Italian,
bingo.
There was a trailer for House of Gucci. I don't know if that's Italian. It just sounds it to me.
It does. They all sound Italian.
I'm happy to see Adam Driver in anything because he is an amazing actor.
I love Adam Driver. Lady Gaga is Lady Gaga, so I don't mind her. It's interesting now that she's getting into acting that she's still Lady Gaga.
Yeah, but like you can't rebrand yourself, I think, because people. I feel like that's how you get the most press.
It is. Did you watch the trailer for this?
Yes.
It looks interesting. I want to see this.
I'll watch it. I will.
Jared Leto, did you see him in it?
Yeah, that's the one downside.
But he looks weird.
Yeah, but it's just I have not much of an opinion of him as an actor, just as a person.
Yeah, he's weird there. But this should be interesting. I enjoy these types of movies of like crime you didn't know about. It should be interesting. I just wanted to talk about it because I'm like, this is cool, and I think more people should know about this.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm not a massive Ghostbusters fan, but what I am a massive fan of is Paul Rudd's abs. Sorry, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Oops, that slipped out. Again, this and Free Guy are like two movies. I'm like, oh yeah, that was coming out, but it didn't, and now we have to watch it.
That's just the effect of COVID, I think, where you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's a thing.
I'm definitely more excited for Free Guy than Ghostbusters.
It's interesting. I don't know. I'm ready. I feel like Ghostbusters are going to be better.
Potentially. I think Free Guy is probably going to be mediocre at best. But I don't know. It's an interesting concept. Kind of like it's very Ready Player One-esque. So it should be interesting. And then also we got Taika Waititi.
That's true. But Taika Waititi or Paul Rudd, that's a hard decision for me.
I don't know.
It's tricky, isn't it? They're both wonderful men.
But also Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's true.
So
they could have cast someone better just to be an everyday guy. Sure.
Wow, you're really looking for anything to complain about, aren't you? What, do you not like Ryan Reynolds?
Do you not like just Ryan saying Reynolds? He does not look like an everyday guy. Look at him.
It's a hunk of man.
Like, honestly, I would struggle to rank Ryan Reynolds as a person and Paul Rudd's abs.
Okay, so that's it. That's trailer talk.
Mamma mia, trailer talk is over.
Mamma mia, pizza pie. Okay. Now here's what I'm talking about. The Suicide Squad.
Sorry, what was that? Here's what I'm talking about.
I think that's a Despicable Me reference.
Is it? Okay. I didn't get it. But
I have an issue to pick with you.
Okay.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I would go to say it's my favorite DC film of all time.
It's definitely my favorite DCEU film. Yeah. What's the issue?
My issue with you is your most recent ranking of the Suicide Squad members.
I like Pete Davidson. Is that what
you because he's funny in it.
Yeah, but as a character, I'm like a bit like, do you not know what a dog is, you idiot?
But you liked the orange chick more?
Spoilers for the Suicide Squad, by the way.
You like the orange chick more?
I just feel like I had to dock him down some points for, selling the team out. Mongal was pretty funny. Because I remember in all the trailers and everything, everyone's like, Mongal is like it's like a Justice League villain because she is like super, super powerful and she does not fit in on this team at all. And then
she just died instantly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we both love this movie. Should we just talk about spoilers?
Yeah, we're going to talk spoilers. This is coming out this Tuesday.
If you haven't seen it by now. You don't like about this movie?
Is there anything I don't like about this movie? I don't think so. Some people complain about the pacing of it.
I think it worked.
I think there was no other way to do it.
One thing I would complain about, which I'm surprised you didn't mention because this hurts me to my core. And we talked about the first Suicide Squad movie, like however long ago. How quickly they killed off Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, I was really about to say that. My heart broke when Captain Boomerang died.
Just imagine.
arguably we got the best boomerang action though.
No, he probably, like, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think he threw more boomerangs in this movie than he did in Suicide Squad.
Well, he threw at least one.
Yeah, and he only threw like 3 in Suicide Squad. And they're cool. They're like glowy.
They are cool. I was so sad that he died. But I guess
yeah. Everyone else I saw coming. But Captain Boomerang, that's a bit like.
you saw Polka Dot Man dying?
I know none of them shocked. I don't know. None of them shocked me in the moment more.
Dude, when Pete Davidson's face blew up.
Did you not see that coming though? Like,
well, no, I knew he was gonna die.
But like, I knew he was gonna die in that moment. I just didn't know it was gonna be that gruesome. When he was all like, "Hey, look at me," I'm like, he's gonna die like any second now.
Yeah. And it right when that happened, I knew exactly what movie I was getting into. And I was all for it.
But that first scene is just amazing.
On rewatch, I actually know I do have one thing to complain about. That one, it gets where this plot slows down a little bit. I think is like that one like love scene with Harley Quinn and that president guy.
I think that's very good for Harley's character, though.
It is very good for Harley's character, but it definitely does feel a little bit out of place.
Yeah. I think you could argue that's kind of intentional, but
oh well, listen, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah,
I think it would. I wouldn't do anything else, but I think it just dragged the pacing down like a little bit.
I get that. So should we talk about some of the members? So who should I start with?
We'll start with the characters that I remember that I don't see here in this presentation.
Javelin.
We have Javelin. He
nice,
was funny.
I like Javelin. A good accent.
What he's like a YouTube personality.
Yeah, something like that.
Fluza or something like that.
It's like Fluga.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Probably Rick Flag.
He was very good in this.
I actually kind of enjoyed him in the first one too.
Yeah, but he was better in this.
Yes. And I feel bad for that actor because he's a very good actor. Joel Kinnaman is his name, I believe.
Joel Kinnaman, yeah.
And I feel like everything he's been in has been mediocre at best. So
yeah, but I liked Rick Flag.
Who else do we not see here?
So there's Javelin. There's
the detachable kid.
Oh, Nathan Fillion. That was good. That was a good gag. Him
that was
around
awesome.
On the floor screaming.
He was awesome. Who else? Who else are we missing?
Thinker? Is he a member?
I guess so. I really liked him.
Yeah.
He was creepy and who?
I don't remember a guy called Milton. I really liked I've already forgotten his name, Michael Rooker's character.
Oh, he's on there.
Yeah, no, I know, but I liked him. What's his character's name? Someone with an S. I'll get it in a second.
The guy with the ball.
Him. Pardon?
The guy with the ball.
Yeah, I think he was cool because I really liked the bit where he runs away screaming.
That was funny.
I really like that. His name is Savant.
Savant. I don't know what it was about this film. Then we'll get into the characters on screen. But this film did not like birds.
Why is that?
So many birds died.
Do they? Oh yeah, the horrific bird scene.
Well, you got the bird in Savant's thing.
Yeah.
Then you have
the cage of birds.
And then when Harley Quinn is having her escape and there's flowers behind her, there's birds. The shark, when Nuamwe, something like that, his actual name, he goes over the intercom and says bird.
Do you know, in an early version of the script, I read this today, that Ratcatcher's character was supposed to control birds?
Then why would they call him Ratcatcher?
Well, she wouldn't have been called
that would have been stupid.
Okay, let's talk about the actual main people. You
Okay.
have Bloodsport, I think, is the main character.
A little Billy Butcher-esque. His accent.
That's interesting, actually. But he's actually English. Is the difference.
Oh, yes.
But the thing is, that the entire movie, I was like, is Idris Elba doing an American accent or is he doing an English accent? Because there were bits where I'm like that, and like his daughter was like very clearly American, and there were bits where I'm like, he sounds American here, and it was really throwing me off of the movie. I was like, what
Wait,
accent is
Idris
he doing?
Elba, he's not American.
No,
What is he?
he's English.
Is he? Okay. Um, I love Bloodsport was good.
He
I
was really
think,
good. I really liked just his entire like how he was the kind of the one who became a hero in a way, I think.
yeah, but he's still not a good guy.
Yeah, no, but that's what I like about it. They didn't go as far as like they went with Deadshot because he's basically just Deadshot.
He's Deadshot, but like better.
Yeah. When they were like Deadshot had to become like a good guy in that movie, but Bloodsport did the right thing, and I like that.
But like he also wanted to benefit himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of like saving the world, he's like, I'm gonna get out of prison.
And on a smaller note, his suit is so cool.
It is really cool. His mask is what Deadshot's mask should have been like.
Yeah, and I just really like the pulling weapons off of himself.
Yeah.
That what looks so cool. And then we have Ratcatcher 2. Wonderful.
She was wonderful.
I've said this in something. I feel like she's like the most essential character to the team, like dynamic wise, because she's kind of like the innocent one, and she's kind of like the moral code of the team, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because like without her, nobody would have like
and like her reaction with her relationship with Bloodsport was really good, and I really liked her scene with King Shark as well.
Yeah. And Taika Waititi was her dad.
Oh, the line he did is just such an amazing line.
Dude, that was so sweet, and the music that was swelling at the time
It's
too.
so good. Honestly, that line is. I literally wrote it down. Do you want to hear it? Taika Waititi impression.
Yes, so much.
I'm not going to be able to do it very well. Writs are the lowliest and most despised creatures of them all, sweetheart. If they have a purpose, so do we all.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. It's such a good line. I'm like, Taika
Waititi.
It
is a really good line.
Oh, and it works so well in that moment in the movie.
It beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
King Shark. I want to talk about Polka Dot Man.
Oh,
Polka Dot. Okay. I win.
I
loved him.
Oh yeah, I do. I really liked the thing with his mum.
Dude, that was it happened so much.
How good is that shot in the dance on the dance floor?
My god,
that is such a good shot.
I didn't even realize. I was looking at him dancing, and then
no, I think that's the thing. On my second watch, I was watching it, and I was like, this shot goes on for longer than I remember. And I think it goes on, like they would have timed it for the perfect length. James Gunn would be sitting there in the editing booth with the editor going, okay, what is the exact amount of time it takes you to notice what's going on? And then just add a second onto that.
Oh my god. It was awesome.
I reckon he might have the best performance in the movie. It's definitely up there.
They all are so good.
But he had like the most to do, I think. Like acting-wise.
Yeah, definitely.
His death was very well done when he's like, I'm a superhero.
That was awesome. This guy's a creepy actor. Have you seen him in any other things?
He has been in so much stuff and you just wouldn't realize. He's in Ant-Man.
He is.
The Dark Knight. He's in The Flash. He's in other superhero. He's in another superhero thing that I can't remember.
He was in Prisoners.
Was he? He's good. He's very good in this. I think I really like him, especially in that ending when he's like, I'm a superhero. Yeah. Like that was such a well delivered line.
Okay, now we talk about King Shark. Sylvester Stallone.
What? It's just Groot all over again. We've fallen for it again.
Like every time.
But the one thing I kept thinking about King Shark is there are a few times in this movie, like multiple times, where you think he's dead, like 3 times.
Yeah.
And every single time I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't think James Gunn is going to kill off King Shark. And that's what I kept thinking to myself every single time. I was like, he's not going to do it, is he? But King Shark just didn't get injured.
No, he got injured. He got bit up by the
Yeah, but like he didn't
fish.
look like physically hurt, did he?
No, he just
No, those
nom
weren't
nom.
annoying him. Those fish weren't annoying him.
Yes, they
Like, how
were.
sweet is that scene when he's like, "No dumb friends."
Dude, that was awesome.
And then
I
there's
love.
also the bit. This is like one shot, but both times I watched the cinema, it like literally made me go, "Oh, King Shark!" But he's like looking out the bus window, and he
Yes,
sees two people kiss, and then he just looks at them, and I'm like, he just wants he just wants love.
he just
Oh,
wants friends.
King Shark, he's just so cute and also scary.
And then going on to it might be a little controversial. My second, maybe my first favorite anime fully CG character, Weasel. So funny. Oh
he
my
can't
god.
he can't swim. That was such a good reveal when they were like, "Has anyone checked that Weasel can swim?" That's the moment where I knew what kind of movie I was in for. When they turn around and they go, "Did anyone check Weasel can swim?" And he just drowns.
What's Viola Davis's character called in this?
Pardon?
The
Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller. Sidetrack. There's like a Suicide Squad movie, like an animated one. Amanda Waller was mean and scary in that. In Suicide Squad, she wasn't very scary.
No, in this she is like,
She's evil.
yeah, and it works so well.
They everything that this movie does, I'm like, this is how the first movie should have been.
Yeah, like they do such a good job with her just being horrible, and then just it works well because how like the rest of her staff react to it. Where
Right.
like in the first movie they were all a bit ambivalent to everything that was going on.
Right.
In it, obviously they knock her out, and that was such a good moment as well.
Um, and then I'm going to talk about who else do we have that we haven't talked about.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Loved him. I thought he was hilarious. So whenever I see John Cena in something, I feel like he's acting too hard.
He
In
did
a
so
sense,
good here.
he did so good.
But I'm also really intrigued to see more of him because I'm not like fully
He
sold
didn't
yet.
get a
Because
lot of screen time.
there's definitely more under the layers here that we don't know about this character.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
there's a moment where he's about to kill Ratcatcher. A moment, of course. Who wants to do that? Like that's what I mean when I'm like she's the essential one. Because when he goes to kill Ratcatcher, you're like, oh, he's a bad guy. Because that's Ratcatcher.
Right.
She's the nice one. And then she's like, oh, why do you have to take the drive? Why do you have to kill me? Why don't you just take the drive? And then he
Yeah.
pauses and he goes, because I'm thorough. And that's like one of the moments I'm like, I feel like there's more going on with this character than we're
And
not
another
aware of.
moment where I realized I thought there was more is like after he kills Rick Flag, he looks very like distraught by his actions.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of by wonderful writing when Rick Flag goes like, Peacemaker, what a joke. Is his
Yeah.
dying words. I love that because then he's kind of like, because I feel like he does realize that he is a joke.
Right.
Something I noticed on the rewatch as well is when Idris Elba makes the toilet seat joke
And it
about,
pisses him off.
and then like there's a big gap between when Idris Elba says that and then when John Cena goes, it's not a toilet seat, it's a beacon of hope.
I am very excited to see what they do with this
Okay.
TV show.
I feel like I should also mention, I feel like he's definitely going to be a character where very soon people are going to be like, oh, yeah, Peacemaker, he's so cool, and completely take his character the wrong way.
What, like they might like take this character like Joker?
Yeah, like Joker, like, yeah.
Definitely.
And I did see an interview when, because like John Cena's going to all the press stuff with the Peacemaker costume on, and in an
Right.
interviewer asked him, do you know where the line is between John Cena and Peacemaker, or is it blurred? And then John Cena's like, no, I definitely know where the line is. And that's like
That's good.
That was like on the red carpets. It was before anyone had seen the movie, but like he understands it. But it's a cool character, I think, and the design is very good.
Yeah, it's cartoony enough to be like not taken too seriously, but you can also like dig it.
And the white works very well just for the blood stains.
Right. That has to be there.
Yeah.
And
It,
then Harley Quinn.
very good once again.
Yeah. We can always bet on Harley Quinn being good.
If Margot Robbie's in it, definitely.
Yeah. Well, of course.
But okay, who did you say who's your favorite in this? I mean, I realize if I say my favorite, I don't know by the time if this podcast comes out if my Suicide Squad ranking will be finished.
I don't know.
I feel like Ratcatcher or Peacemaker maybe. King Shark is definitely up there.
I would say either Peacemaker or King Shark.
Yeah, I get it. King Shark is just so cute. Yeah, no,
But
I get that. I really
but
like
like
Bloodsport as well.
they're all like
Yeah,
like
all the
a
ones
millisecond,
who
millimeter.
survive past the first 20 minutes are amazing.
Yes.
And like, yeah. I really also love the moment where like Bloodsport and John Cena have their Mexican standoff.
That's so good.
It's so cool when he falls down and they just look at each other. Oh,
Badass. And also the whole fight scene between John Cena and Rick Flag.
yeah.
That was also really well done.
And the whole fight scene when they're going through the resistance camp.
Oh yes.
And it's just like one long shot and they're just killing everyone.
And then that was so funny.
Yeah, it's a good joke. My next question is, what did you think of Starro?
I felt bad for Starro. He was all right.
I just like the audacity of it, I think.
It's super ridiculous, and totally took it. Like I dug it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Starro because at the end, I didn't catch this the first time, but he just said like,
He's like,
I
I was
was,
happy floating amongst the stars or something like that.
yeah, and he just wanted to be
He was like, I was happy looking at the
floating
stars
around.
floating, and I'm like, oh,
That was so sad.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But like, still, good on them for killing him.
yes.
The second I knew they were going to go through his eye, the second they turned around, I was like, they're going in that bastard's eye.
They had to go for the eye. They had no choice. Like the moment I saw that big eye, I'm like, that has to pop. Like that has to go. Like
it's like a blister. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
But it looked so cool as well, with Harley Quinn floating in it.
The CGI in this movie was crazy good.
Yeah. Also, just I feel like this is some of the best cinematography of any superhero movie ever.
Definitely, like that one shot of them emerging from the rain.
Yeah, and there's such small stuff. Like the opening shot is of the puddle and Michael Rooker's bouncing his ball, and the camera switches up to him, and I think that looks really cool. And then there's in the Rick Flag and then the Peacemaker fight, there's the reflection on Peacemaker's helmet.
Yes,
of them fighting. There's so many moments which just look really cool.
This movie is just beautiful.
And like that's not something I would all this like I expected gore and I expected great characters and I expected cool action and dumb, but I wasn't expecting really cool cinematography.
And like a heartfelt story too.
Yeah. I feel like and good
I feel
music. Like it had a good score.
Such good music.
Like the scene where like the rat scene with Taika Waititi, the score in that.
Like the music swelling. So good.
Oh.
I think when I say like this movie is what the Suicide Squad was, what the Suicide Squad is what Suicide Squad was meant to be.
Not confusing at all.
Not at all. Why would you even mention that? It's not confusing at all. It's because in Suicide Squad, at the end they're like, it's because we're family. But at no point did it ever come across that these characters liked each other.
Yeah.
There was no sense of family development.
Yeah, no, that's true. And then they, number one, they didn't make the mistake of going, oh, we're such a good family in this movie.
Right.
But even if they did, I think you would have bought it. If like Ratcatcher said, oh, you guys are my new family, you'd be like, yeah, I buy that.
Yeah, but if like Bloodcatcher said it, you would have been like, I don't know.
He basically did imply that Ratcatcher's like a daughter to him, which is.
Well, yeah, he said that, but like.
No, yeah, to everyone else.
Deadshot said that this was like his family.
Yeah.
He's like Kibble, but that didn't come across. And then in Suicide Squad, the first one, only one person died. I guess two. Diablo died as well.
Oh, Slipknot. Sure.
Yeah, you can't
I
forget
only
about
found
Slipknot.
out today when I posted my Suicide Squad ranking that he's the first indigenous American actor to be in a superhero movie in a role like that ever.
And they just killed him off.
And they just killed him off in 30 seconds, and I'm like,
oh my, the audacity.
they were like, oh, we check this box. Now what do we do with? We can't have too many non-white actors. What do we do? Oh, just kill him. Yeah, good point.
But people died in this one. So many people died.
Yeah. Well, who was left at the end? Ratcatcher, Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, King Shark, Weasel.
Yes, and technically Peacemaker, but they assumed he was dead.
Yeah. And the reason I think Weasel survived is because everyone placing bets on this movie probably would have put like Weasel in last place, for like most likely to die.
Yeah.
Like if he's definitely not a character you would have gone, yeah, he's going to survive this movie.
This is true. So if we had to rank this movie, what would we rank it? Out of 10.
Out of 10. 9.
I get it. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I was maybe 9.5.
And the reason I give it a 10 out of 10 is I can't point out anything bad about it.
Yeah. It was so good.
I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know how good it was going to be.
So, and it's interesting to think James Gunn was offered the choice of he could make any DC movie he wanted. Like they would have, he said
Did they give him that?
Yeah,
ability?
he said he was offered to make a Superman movie. So like he could have made literally any movie he wanted, and he decided on this. And I get why, because it is very Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is. It's definitely what James Gunn does best, and he knows that.
Yeah, and so I'm happy he went with this.
Me as well. All right, should I move on to the last thing?
Yeah, just good stuff all around.
Good stuff all around, for sure. Last thing, this is kind of a soft end, but I saw The Green Knight, which is an A24 movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It's not out in the UK yet, so
Is it not out in the UK?
No.
When does it come out for you guys?
I don't actually know. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find a definitive answer.
It was pretty good. I don't think it was mind-blowing or anything. And I put The Lighthouse in the top corner because I also watched that movie. Have you seen that before? It's so weird, dude. These are both like super like messes with your head movies.
Yeah.
But The Green Knight, it's based on like a medieval story.
Yeah, it's based on like a poem, isn't it, or something like that?
No, it's based on a medieval. I think it's a story, not a poem. Might be a poem, but they don't know it was written anonymously.
Yeah,
which is weird. But it was pretty good. But it's very much a plot-driven story, and The Lighthouse is not.
Yeah, that's interesting. A new movie I have watched is I watched Jungle Cruise.
Was that good? I haven't seen that.
It was. I mean, it was good. I gave it. Yeah, it was like the bare minimum I think a movie can be for me to call it good.
Yeah,
and I feel like it is just one of the most bland movies.
It looked like that
I've ever seen. It was just incredible. It wasn't bad, but it was incredibly bland.
Was it kind of like the best somebody could make from a ride based on a Jungle Cruise?
Well, I don't know, because Pirates of the Caribbean is the first one is very good.
Well, right, but like, I feel like making a movie about pirates is much easier than making a movie about a jungle.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I will say about Jungle Cruise, it has a twist that is just
Oh.
absolutely bizarre, and you
Does it
wouldn't.
make sense at all to the story?
I think it makes sense to the story, but there is no way you'd be able to guess it before it happened.
Guess I have to watch it now.
It is weird, and also I just yeah no yeah it doesn't even look that good.
No, it looks very throwaway.
Yeah, like it looks cheaply made. But I think that's everything on that lovely note.
Yes.
We should end. I also watched Space Jam, but please don't make me talk about that.
What? How do you like Space Jam?
I really hated it.
I watched the first half and I stopped because I was
Well,
like,
I only watched the first half because my cinema was evacuated.
haha. I didn't have to pay for. Well, did you have to pay for Space Jam?
No, I didn't. I had to pay for a train ticket, which was like £2.50.
Wow, imagine pounds.
Anyway,
Anyways,
thank you for listening. I feel like this has
yes.
been a very long one, but I guess we'll see what
Has
we
it?
make it. I don't
Good.
know.
Have fun editing it and posting it in 3 days.
I don't have a life. It's fine. It's a joke. I do have a life.
Sure.
That's
and you
why.
have cinnamon toast crunch in England.
What is that? Just what all your social events involve?
Cinnamon toast crunch, yes.
You had to get one mentioned in this episode.
Yo, yes, I did.
Yeah.
That was
Anyway,
a close one. Whew.
well, thank you for listening. Join us next week when we talk about Holmes and Watson.
Holmes and Watson.
I might change. I might just not show up because I don't want to watch that movie.
And I'll just do it all. But neither. It'll just be an hour-long recording of just silence.
Yeah.
Because neither of us are here.
No, we'll come in. We'll turn our microphones on and just leave the room.
Right. Yeah. It'll just be like a blank space.
Yeah.
Do you like my new chair?
Pardon? Yeah.
Like my new chair?
I noticed it earlier on, actually.
It has a massager on the back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, on that lovely note, we'll see you next week. Adios.